These are the facts, not put out by mainstream media. If you want to know the truth, we put out the truth every single day, Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays we spend with our families, as we should do. So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Oval Gold for those that are based in America and Canada. And for those in the UK and Europe, we have Orvesta. Get yours now. charlies.gold.
Well, hi guys. Today I've got a special interview because Elvin and I, we have children at the same school in Spain. We've met many times at the school. And Elvin is an interesting young man who's been involved in just looking at what the truth really is, rather than accepting what we've been told, a bit like myself. So great to see you, Elvin. How are you?
Thank you, Charlie. I'm very, very great. Thank you for introducing me. I'm Elvin. I meet Charlie at school, and I've been studying the system for 40 years, reading books, studying the wars that's going on, how to start the war, why they started, and why they do coups in countries.
Well, you're also, the beautiful thing with Elvin is families from the Dominican Republic, brought up in Europe, in Holland or Netherlands, now living in Spain. So when you've got that starting foundation of different countries, different cultures, different ways of life, it opens you right up to investigating what is the truth, because so many times in life, we're told something that's blatantly not true. And then when you go to that place and location, you find it's very, very different.
Exactly. That's true. That's where I find out when I went to the States. I was living in the States in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida for years. And I began to study the system. And I realized I'm living a lie. Because in my eyes, the States is the one ruling the whole world. Because the moment that this is my opinion, the moment that the war has finished in Europe, the Second War, I think, and they signed an agreement, right? They signed an agreement about the NATO. Almost all the countries coming together. Well, if you read the agreement, you're gonna see that the States is in control of everything in the NATO. And I'm finding it very strange that right now that the president is saying, I'm not going to go for NATO anymore, I'm going out. And he go out of the agreement. And also the part of he don't want to be involved in the legal aspect in the nation. That let me think about, wait a minute, they're going to do something that they cannot be persecuted. That's my opinion about it. What you think about it?
At the moment, we're living through a transition phase where you've got good and evil running alongside each other in every country in the world. In America, you've got the United States of America Corporation, which was run by the evil side, and you've now got the new Republic of America, which is run by the good side. So you will see different timelines, you will see different frequencies, you'll see different things that sometimes just don't make any sense. But NATO, you're absolutely right, was created, yes, with America at the helm, to bring peace. Well, it's turned out it got hijacked by the bad people in America to create war, because war makes money. And I happen to know one of the largest arms dealers in the world, and he's happy to supply both sides. And the more, the better. The longer the war goes on, the wealthier he becomes. Yeah. And when governments don't get involved, he gets even more busy. And this is part of what we've been through over the last 20, 30, 50 years. Yeah. That we're now breaking out of. And it's important to do what you've done. What you've done is research and trust your intuition, because there's a lot of stuff out there that's not true, when we have to work out what is and what isn't. And I'm very much a person that has my faith and trust in God. And if I don't know the answer to something, I ask God. And God is very different to what I thought God was. I thought God lived on a big pedestal up there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I found out he doesn't live up there. He lives in here. So I can communicate with him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even when it's raining in Spain, I can still communicate. And I can find out exactly what's going on when I communicate with God. Because very often I see stuff that I just can't make out what on earth's going on, Elvin. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense, right?
And then suddenly, when you communicate with God, God can show you what's right and what's wrong.
That's true. And you just mentioned one point, a very, very, very important point. You said that it's the world is going down. It's about this people is supplying both of the sides, right? That's mean the world is going on right now in Ukraine that we have is about the arms, supplying both fronts of the war. But my question is, it's this: why then that they're never going to come peace there with them one, and why the president of the European cannot stop that war because they begin it, and because then we go closer to Russia border, and Russia told them we do have agreement in 90 something, but you guys have violated it for years now. But why they cannot stop it? Is Russia don't want to stop the war, or is them don't want to stop the war?
Well, I can tell you on very, very good authority that Putin and Russia do not want the war at all. Never have done, never wanted to. The war was started for a simple reason. Putin found out that Zelensky was responsible for the production of bioweapons to reduce the population and also huge amounts of human trafficking and child trafficking, because with respect, Ukrainian women are very beautiful. So that's the place to put your hub, where beautiful women are. It's moved out of Ukraine at the moment to Hungary because they've been forced out, because they've been caught in the Donbass region. And that's where all the bioweapons factories were. So everything that the people have been told about the war is untrue by mainstream media. The truth is, Putin has always wanted to stop human trafficking, child trafficking, and bioweapons. And by the way, one interesting little fact. On the Epstein list, one name is missing, not on there anywhere. And that is Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
Have you ever asked yourself the question why? Why did he never go when they got everyone else that was powerful there? The very simple reason that he's a God-fearing man. And the protection of his own people, his own children, is paramount in his life. Don't believe the bullshit you're hearing on mainstream media.
This is the reason why Edward is have searched for refugees there in Russia. Edward.
Sorry, can you just repeat that again?
Edward, do you know Edward? The guy, yes. It's a guy that has so much information about the CIA, phones, kind of stuff like that, and he flee to Russia.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes. No, this is of course Edward Snowden.
Yes.
And Edward Snowden was a person that was very much involved with Julian Assange on finding out information. They found out stuff, of course, which really, really upset the Americans because it exposed what was really going on.
Yeah.
And we've all learned the hard way that we were lied to and we believed the lie. And then suddenly Julian Assange and Edward Snowden and a few others opened a can of worms. And the one thing with Donald Trump that I happen to know firsthand, Donald Trump had all this information, obviously, from Julian Assange, obviously.
Yeah.
But instead of taking it from the back door, Donald Trump waited his time to go through the front door, to do everything by the book. So he knew what the facts were. He just had to do it within the law.
Yeah.
Because they knew that they would expose themselves to corrupt judges if they just took what Julian Assange said and took what Edward Snowden said. Now, Edward Snowden, of course, is now safely and very safely in Russia.
Yeah.
And so they should be. And we thank God for people like this who've exposed how corrupt these people really, really are.
Exactly. You mentioned Donald Trump just now. Let me put it like this. Donald Trump, in the beginning of his election, he was talking about peace. We're going to put peace everywhere. And he was the president of peace. We call him president of peace. I'm like, yeah, finally we have a president who's going to go for the peace. But in the meanwhile, we are seeing only like war going on because he went in Caracas, Venezuela, and he take out Maduro, right? But before that was Chavez, right? I was studying Chavez, reading his book, following him, kind of stuff like that. And I understand his mind of how he trying to save his country, but he died mysteriously. I don't believe that he died just like that with cancer. I believe they set him up because they always do that. He died, and then you have Maduro in power, and then states come in and take Maduro out. What do you think about that?
Well, Maduro was dealt with 4 years ago. The real Maduro. The actor playing Maduro in the movie, in the pantomime, was picked up the other day. And that was all done for show. Because what we're living through right now is a pantomime. Everything was done in 2020 and 2021 during the lockdown. That was the purpose of the lockdown, so that they could arrest all of the bad ones at the top of the tree and deal with them there and then. It was way too dangerous to do it in real time. So it had to be done the way it was done. And now, what you're seeing now happened 4 or 5 years ago, and it's all done. But the directors of this movie are using artistic license right now to spice it up a bit.
Yeah, I noticed that. I put the two pictures together. I'm like, this is not the same guy. They
Same guy.
Yeah.
It's not the same guy. And the same with the British royal family and all this stuff out there. I'm not going to name the names. You do your own research. You look at the pictures of them 5 years ago and the pictures of them today, different people altogether. And yet our brains are so brainwashed that we just see something that looks like them and go, oh, that's it. And of course, that one thing that came out of the Epstein files was the execution by a shot to the head of Joe Biden 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that his term in office that was portrayed by the media was all a lie.
Yeah, I saw it. Like, this is not the same guy that I know. Yes, not personally, no, but seeing on TV and kind of stuff. It's not the same person. Right?
It's a completely different person.
Wrong here. Yeah, you mentioned about the lockdown period, right? Yeah. From the lockdown period, I saw you pop out online and said, "Okay, let me follow you. Let me study you. What you're talking about." And you was talking about the COVID is not COVID is something else, etc., etc. And you say. In the time period, like right now, they are rounding people up, like the Clintons, kind of stuff like that. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, the Clintons, again, were both executed 4 or 5 years ago, both of them. Hillary Clinton was hung, and Donald Trump was present. Everything has been recorded down in Guantanamo Bay in analog, so that it cannot be edited. And the copies are very, very safe. They were all put in front of a military tribunal. They were all offered the chance to either accept the charges or go through with the case. If they went through with the case, the world would know exactly what they'd done. If they accepted the charges, they were executed there and then, and the public would never know the full story. And because we're dealing with egos, 99% of them accepted all the evidence, but the evidence was overwhelming. I mean, way overwhelming. They had everything. When Trump said, we caught them all,
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
He didn't say we're going to catch them all. He said we caught them all.
Yeah.
Clue is there. We got them all. We caught them all. They've all been caught. They've all been dealt with. At the moment, the pantomime is playing out for those to catch up. I was privileged enough 5 years ago to watch it happen in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And now people are starting to realize that what I said 5 years ago was true. The biggest problem we have nowadays is people wanting it to happen a lot quicker, especially those people who are awake and aware.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. That's been 5 years ago it happened. And this is more another question. Because you mentioned Mossad, previous speak. Do you think that Israel is running also the whole world?
They have been for many, many years.
Yeah.
Mossad and Israel. Epstein was a Jew.
Sure, yeah.
He was a Mossad agent.
Yeah.
So was Ghislaine Maxwell. And they blackmailed 90% of the US politicians and powerful people. They blackmailed so many British celebrities and government figures, and the same in Europe. This was how they extorted their money.
Mm-hmm.
So, and these people they're not human. They're reptilian.
Yes, I understand it. Yeah. That being said, I think also you know about Iran. Yeah, the helicopter that went down with the president inside it. Do you think that was the Mossad that did it?
Iran is under attack from Israel, and it's all about control. Yeah. I said 5 years ago that the final stage of this whole journey is that Iran will take out Israel. I said that 5 years ago. I stand by that. Israel is left till last. And we're about to see Iran take out Israel. And Israel, there's no way in the world that Israel could ever, in a million years, beat Iran. The same way that Ukraine could never beat Russia. Europe can't beat Russia.
Yeah.
Let alone Ukraine.
Why do the Chinese never get involved in the war? Like looking from far and studying everything, and they take control of the markets, the finance market, the Chinese. Why are they never involved in that kind of stuff like that?
I've worked with China now for 25 years, maybe even longer. And I've known the Dragon family who run China for 25 years. They are good friends of mine. The one thing that you learn with the Chinese, they're very quiet.
Yeah, sure.
And if they wanted to win a war, you wouldn't know anything about it. They'd win. You wouldn't know anything about it because they don't go in the way the West does. If you look at mafias around the world, you look at the Russian mafia, they're big and strong and tough.
Yeah.
And you look at the Chechens, the same.
The same thing, yeah.
Same type of thing. You look at the Bulgarian mafia, the same.
Yeah.
The Hungarian mafia, the same. The American mafia, slightly more lame. You get into the Irish, the English mafia, they're tough boys. When you get into the triads, the Chinese mafia, the Japanese mafia, the Vietnamese mafia, the Thai mafia, quiet. America couldn't beat Vietnam for 10 years.
Yeah, I read it. I saw it, I read it, yeah.
Because of the way that they work. They don't work the same. They're quiet. And at the moment, China is quietly helping Venezuela. China is quietly helping Iran.
I saw the planes moving over there. Yeah, that's true. I saw the planes moving over there.
They're lovely, lovely people, Alvin. And when you meet the Chinese mafia, the triads, when you meet them, you just go, they're just like normal folk.
Yeah, normal folk, yes.
They're not like the Russian.
Big.
They're quiet. But I tell you what, my life experience, they're 10 times more dangerous than the Russians, the Chechens, any of them. They're 10 times more dangerous because they're covert, whereas the others are all overt.
Yeah, is that the reason why that China is letting North Korea say, "I have nuclear weapon. Call me, I will help you. Send it to America." Is that the reason why? This North Korea is talking for China. You think about it?
There will never ever be a nuclear war.
Yeah.
Never ever. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is ever so simple. God created the heavens and the earth. He won't let that happen.
Yeah.
And when you talk about North Korea, Donald Trump went there.
Yeah.
He met, had face-to-face meeting, and got on very well with him. And they have a similar sense of humor. This is all for show. The reason, obviously, North Korea, they've been isolated is that they've refused to have the Rothschild banking system.
Yeah. Because all Europe have the Rothschild banking. Exactly what you say. Yeah.
Of course they do. And this is what it's all about. This is what it's always been about total control. Well, that control is now slipping through their fingers. The hegemony that the US has had for years is gone.
Yeah.
We're watching the dismantling of it now, and we're watching the emergence of something new. Now, my godfather said to me the other day, my godfather's a very powerful man. He was the CEO of 36 major companies in the world, of which 5 were in the Fortune 100, and he was an advisor to the British government on finance. So he's in a good place. And he said to me, Charlie, 5 years ago, he said, Charlie, I can see what you're doing. You're trying to dismantle this old system. But are you sure that the new system is going to be any better than the old one?
Yeah.
And I said, it cannot be any worse because of the people who run it. Exactly. And he just said to me, I hope you're right. I said, I know I'm right, because this is a battle between good and evil, what we started talking about on this show. It's a battle between good and evil. It's not good and bad. It's good and evil. But you and me, we've been bad.
Yeah.
By the nature where we're men, we're bad.
Yeah.
But I've never, ever crossed over to the side of evil, and I never want to. Because when you go over to the side of evil, you don't come back.
You don't come back. That's true. And another question, you mentioned Cabal. There was a lady that has done a documentary about the Cabal, right? And suddenly I read that they find out she's dead, kind of stuff like that. Can you elaborate on that?
The Cabal is dead. And there's a very, very simple way for you and I to understand how the Cabal only has power when it has money.
Exactly.
You and I both know that when you have money, you have confidence. When you have no money, you have no confidence.
Exactly.
And at the moment, we're seeing the complete collapse of the US dollar and the euro and the pound.
Exactly.
The three currencies that the Cabal need. Without that, they have no power. They have nothing. So when I say the Cabal is dead, there's the evidence.
Yeah.
No money, no Cabal.
No Cabal. Doesn't mean that the finance institute is falling down right now, right?
Of course it is. Exactly right.
Yeah. Do you think that it's going to come back to where it is, or another system is going to take over, like the crypto kind of stuff like that?
We're not going back. We're going forward to a new world where people are going to have to take responsibility a lot more than they've ever done before, because we're moving forward to a digital world for money. But there will also still be cash, because we can't leave the less privileged behind.
Yeah.
There are many people, you know, and I know, in Africa, in Russia, in China, that don't have bank accounts, that don't have money. We know them in our own countries. I look after over 100 homeless people in Spain that don't have bank accounts.
Yeah.
Can't just leave them behind.
Yeah.
We have to look after those less fortunate than us. And that's our duty.
What you think about UK? Because they're also letting a lot of immigrants come in there. It's like the immigrant has take over UK of England. They have take over England. And if you see the population from the start of England and now, it's a very different population. They let every kind of people come in, kind of stuff like that. What's your thoughts upon that?
Well, it's very, very simple. It's been done on purpose to destabilize the UK.
Exactly.
Now, you and I both know, because we live in Spain and I'm English, and you're Dominican, American, but Dutch, that when you are able to move to other countries, it's a very positive thing.
Yeah.
Most important thing is to integrate. When I came to Spain, I've been here 42 years. I never asked for anything from the Spanish government. And the first thing I did was embrace their culture. Learn their culture and try and live within their rules.
Yes,
I'm here
exactly.
as a guest.
Exactly.
And people say, well, you've lived in Spain longer than you have the UK, that makes you Spanish. I went, no, I'm still English.
Exactly.
Always been English, always will be English. And I had a little joke the other day with a friend of mine from Pakistan who lives in England. And he said to me, I'm English. I went, no, you're not. I said, you're Pakistani. I said, tell me something. How many English people that moved to Pakistan that have lived there for 30 years turn around and say, I'm a Pakistani? None. What are you doing? Why don't you look at yourself and be proud of where you come from?
Exactly.
I have so many Pakistani friends who are wonderful, wonderful people.
Yeah.
Every country's got good and bad, but at least have the respect for your own culture of where you come from, who you are. And the fact you travel just says to me, you're intelligent because you've gone about to find out what other countries have got.
Exactly.
It's a wonderful way to learn. You know, we look at our school, don't we? You and I.
Yeah.
It's all the children. There's not an ounce of racism there because there are so many cultures growing up together.
Exactly.
Racism is created by adults that are uneducated, whereas the school is full of children from everywhere in the world.
Exactly. It's very nice to see that.
It's lovely, and the kids just love each other. They don't think about colour of the skin. They don't think about religion, what family, where you go to church or chapel or temple or synagogue or whatever. They don't care. They just play together.
Exactly. And that's a very important thing. My thoughts upon that is like in 1912, 1930, something like that, the same thing that Arabs did with Spain. They put send a lot of Arabs here to take over the country.
Yeah.
Without fighting, without shooting bullets, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's the same way they're trying to do it in other countries, sending a lot of the people over there to try to take the country over. I'm just saying, because I've studied the history and I saw it repeat again. Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, it's very true. And people always say to me, it's going to be very difficult to get rid of all these refugees that come into the UK. I said, it's not. Because let me tell you one thing. The refugees did not go to England for the weather.
That's true.
They went there on the promise of money.
That's true.
So if you make their country more financially secure with them with opportunity in their own country, they will pay their own return flight.
Yeah.
They'll go back to where they... Because the only reason they leave Africa is because they can make more money in Europe. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
But if they can make more money in Nigeria, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, in Ghana, wherever, Morocco, Algeria, any of these countries, Somalia, if you can make more money there, it's a little bit warmer than the UK.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's true. You mentioned Burkina Faso. I was there in Burkina Faso for some months to study things going on there. and I saw like Ibrahim Quere, I think Ibrahim the new Quere, yes, the new president. I never talked to him. But I saw how he's deforming the country, and he got like Niger beside of him right now, and he got another country also that break free from the France, but they like trying to take him off, to to take him off, to put a French government there. It's the same thing that they're trying to do with in the past, when they did it with Cuba. Remember that with the Castro? They tried to 40 times in Cuba there, but it never functioned. But my question is, do you think that Ibrahim Kari is going to be still Kari is going to still there?
Yes, he will. There's a reason for that, and the reason for that is Elvin. He's a God-fearing man. God protects his own people. This is the Third World War. I've been over to Burkina Faso a few times. Ouagadougou.
Yeah.
Great name of a capital. Great name. One of my favourite names of any capital in the world. He's doing God's work, and God will protect his own people. What's happening right now is the light is exposing the darkness.
Exactly.
You and I both know when you're living in the dark, very often you don't see anything. But when the lights come on, that's when it gets scary. And that's where we're going through right now. The lights are coming on in Africa. And we're starting to see the light shining in dark places.
Exactly.
Let me tell you one thing about the darkness. They're petrified. These people are scared because they could work in the dark. Nobody could see them. Now the light is shining on them and they've got nowhere to hide. They are living in fear. They are petrified. We have nothing to fear because we live in the light. For those people living in the darkness, they're the ones to be scared.
Yeah, I saw a video of Ibrahim Kare. I saw a video of him, and I'll make a video I'll send a message to him, but through the video. I saw a video where he was going to the crowd with his armored vehicle, and I saw like holes. Like holes mean the security was not very in place. How do you handle that? I studied that stuff, and I saw it. And I sent a video, put the video, say, hey, you guys have to look this, the points are opened. Someone reached out to me and said to me, yeah, we received the video, but I don't know if they changed something else. Did yes or not? Well, I saw another video. I saw that the points that I point out have been covered. I'm like, yes, because there were friends still there. Friends want to take you out, of course, because friends are living off Africa. That's normally. And they have to protect him, because if they don't protect him, they're going to take him out. That's the truth.
Well, yeah, we're living in the end times right now.
Yeah.
And this is where people need the protection of God, like David and Goliath.
Yeah.
We're small by comparison to the enemy we're up against.
Exactly.
God looks after David, and God can look after us. And it's down to us to stand up and be counted. You know, going back 3 or 4 years ago, I had people turning up at my doorstep threatening to kill me. I've had bank accounts, 16 different bank accounts closed.
Me too.
I had all my social media closed. They came after me. They threatened me. They tried everything they possibly could to shut me up. But it just made me stronger. But
sure.
Look, we're in a good place, Elvin. We're in a good place. It might seem bumpy for some people, but we're in a good place and we're on the right track, and things are moving. Now we see the complete collapse of the old system, the old banking system. These days, we're seeing the US dollar collapse in free fall.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
And this is all part of the plan. And Trump has been put at the helm to dismantle the old system in America. Do not conflict the old United States of America Corporation and the new Republic of America. Don't conflict the two.
You said Trump is there to help America, but is that really true? Because what I'm seeing is something else. I was for Trump. I said, yes, I'm going to vote for Trump. I'm still for him. I'm seeing something else going on. I'm like, okay, what's happening, my man?
Fifth generation warfare. If you read the book by General Michael Flynn, it gives you a good insight. But it's fifth generation warfare, and I'll give you a little clue. If you want to infiltrate, and I've lived on the Costa del Sol 42 years. I know the mafias down here. I know the biggest mafia down here. They got infiltrated 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe more, by a guy who was Dutch.
Dutch guy.
Right, Dutch guy. Became their best friend. And he was infiltrated them for 4 years. It turns out he was DEA, Drug Enforcement from America. And they were all shocked because he was such a good friend, but he was their friend for 4 years before anything happened. Trump has infiltrated the Jewish community because his balls are big enough to do it. He's pretended he's Jewish. He's gone to Israel. Gone to Israel to find out what's going on. But he's dismantling the Zionists. But he had to do it from the inside out, not from the outside in. Do it from the outside in, you'll lose every time.
You lose every time, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you have to go within, and you have to pretend you're one of them. And now they're starting to realise, hang on, he's not with us at all. He just infiltrated us, and he knows everything. That makes him more dangerous. So, they'll try and kill him. That's why the real Trump has not been seen now for 2 or 3 years. The real Trump is hidden. And the Trump that you see out there is a clone or a body double to protect the real Trump.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to go for the third term?
That I don't know, but I do know that Trump is the last president.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're going to change the system, of course,
Yes, Well, Elvin, it's been great to see you.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time. And
you too.
We'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
These are the facts, not put out by mainstream media. If you want to know the truth, we put out the truth every single day, Monday to Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, we spend with our families, as we should do. So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Global Gold for those that are based in America and Canada. And for those in the UK and Europe, we have Orvesta. Get yours now. Charlies.gold.